Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking this out. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It is time to talk about the new women's roster that was announced for the upcoming friendlies in June, heading into a final roster for the upcoming Olympics. It is, of course, the beginning of the Emma Hayes era after a less than stellar finish in the 21 Olympics, where they got a bronze. The U.S. then bombed out, bombed out of the World Cup in 2023. They had never finished lower than third, and they couldn't make it out of the round of 16. So, of course, that led to a coaching change. And I think what we're seeing is dramatic changes in the roster. The team is getting younger. I think there are now I can't remember, and I had it written down too. I think there are maybe 9 players from the 2019 World Cup and maybe only 11 from the 23 Cup that are on this roster. So I just wanted to go over it, and then we'll talk a little bit about what stands out, what's a surprise, and what we can expect going forward, because they've still got to cut this roster down for the Olympics. You only have 18 on the Olympics roster, on the Olympic roster. This one's 23. The keepers, uh, Jane Campbell, Kingsbury, Casey Murphy, great opportunities for them with Nair being hurt. I have to say, I don't know about Nair for the Olympics, if that's still a possibility. So these 3 keepers may be playing to be the keeper for the Olympics coming up, or at least to make a mark to be competition for Nair going forward. The defenders, we've got Davidson, Emily, Naomi, Casey Kruger, Highswanger, Emily Sonnet. I don't think any of them are really any surprise there. Staub at defender. Then we got the midfielder. We got midfield. You know what I mean? Corbin Albert, Coffee, Hirschfeld, Lindsay is back. Rose is back after injury. Um, Lily, we'll talk about her. I haven't heard anyone say her last name, so I'm not even going to try. It's Dutch, so I will butcher it. Um, Forwards, Crystal Dunn, Macario, Morgan, Rodman, you know, Jaden Shaw, Sophia Smith, Mallory Swanson. So let's talk about this briefly, just overall, the feel of the roster itself. Um, First, Mallory, Mallory suffered a devastating injury. I think everyone felt really bad for her. She really had been coming into form and playing great soccer before that ACL injury right before the World Cup. She's returning. I'm looking forward to seeing her play. I hope she's able to get a decent amount of time and see how she looks. 5 of the players played in Europe this past year, including Haran, Macario, um, Emily Fox, Corbin Albert, who I got to see play a few times for PSG, and she's looked really, really good for PSG. And then, of course, only 16 years old, Lily. Is this Johannes, um, who helped Ajax to a runner-up finish um, in, I believe, the Dutch league, and also a pretty deep run in the UWCL. I saw her play there a couple of times. 16, she'll be 17 in June. Then we've got some first-time call-ups for Sam Staub, Chicago Red Stars defender, as well as Hirschfeld from the Washington Spirit, who's only 21. Those 2, along with Lily, are the 3 uncapped players on this roster. So that's going to be interesting too, this close to the Olympics, and Emily, um, Emma Hayes getting her start with the team to bring in players like that. So what I'm looking at as some surprises, well, Alex Morgan hasn't played since April 19. So my guess is, and I don't know, Hayes is eyeing toward keeping her on the Olympic roster. Otherwise, why even bring her in for this camp? She's probably got to think she's not going to be at her best. And I'm sure she's seen a lot of Alex Morgan over the years. I think a big one here is, of course, Crystal Dunn being on the roster as a forward while also leaving Lynn Williams off the team completely. I think that's pretty interesting. And I think we have it right here, right? Speaking of Lynn Williams, here's goal number 75 for Lynn in all competitions, which is a league new league record in WSL. An easy way to get it. Lynn Williams with a historic goal there. So that's I think that is a pretty interesting selection for me is leaving Lynn off and bringing on Crystal Dunn as a forward. Of course, we had the first time call ups for Staub and Hirschfeld. Um, there's the question, as I mentioned earlier, which keeper is going to grab the reins and be an Olympic starter? It's a, and again, I shouldn't say and be an Olympic starter. I'm not sure about Nair's situation in terms of whether she'll be back, but either way, it's a great opportunity because otherwise, if Nair wasn't hurt, we know she'd be the one playing and getting ready for the Olympics. And you've got 18 for the Olympics. This roster's 23. So are any of the players who maybe are hurt now and not in camp that may be healthy, will they be on the roster? Or let's just say it's these 23. Which five players are going to stay home for the Olympics? Is Hayes going to carry three keepers or will she carry only two? If Nair is able to come back, will she take a chance on a list even though she hasn't been playing? Is she going to keep experience on the roster? Right? This is a pretty young roster. I think they average 26. We've got three players who are uncapped. So does that mean with the young forwards, does that secure a spot on the roster for Morgan or Dunn or both? If it's just Morgan or Dunn, is the edge to Dunn because she's more versatile, can play in the midfield and in the back. Of course, we know that. She's also, I believe, played for Emma Hayes at Chelsea, so that could give her an edge as well. As far as the uncapped players, I mean, Staub was named the NWSL Best 11 last season. She consistently plays the full 90 minutes. I saw something on here. If we scroll down on here, she made a league record 100 straight starts. I mean, look at this, 100 consecutive starts and appearances for Sam Staub for Chicago. So that's pretty impressive right there. Um, and even though you got these uncapped players, would Hayes even have them on this roster if she wasn't considering them for the Olympics, right? And we have seven of these 23 players have fewer than 10 caps. As I mentioned, Johannes, Lily, I'm going to call her Lily. She won't be 17 until June 12th. She's the youngest player ever to start a Champions League match. Only five of these players are 30 or older. Um, or, and I think Haran just turned 30 this week. So we've got her, Dunn, Morgan, I think Kruger and Kingsbury. And Kingsbury's a keeper, so that's not even going to, we're not counting a 30-year-old, 30 plus keeper as someone who's aging. They come into their prime later. They're not doing a lot of running on the pitch. So, but it's definitely a start of a new era. It's going to be interesting to see how they play against South Korea, how some of these pieces start fitting together. Uh, So that's going to be really interesting for the team. Here is, I think this, yeah, well, we've got this here. Let's show it. Hirschfeld's very first goal, first pro goal, I should say, lasted into the far upper 90. That's pretty exciting for her. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm starting to ramble a little bit, but I just thought it was pretty interesting. This is Emma Hayes' first camp, first roster for the U.S. team. And even though she's new and they don't have a lot of time to prepare for the Olympics, it's the U.S. women's national team. So we really don't expect anything less than gold. So that's going to be interesting to see. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks again for checking out this video. Please like, subscribe, comment below. What are the surprises to you at if it's going to be these 23 without changes for the Olympics, other than cutting it down to 18? Who do you think gets left home? So please let me know. Comment below. I will read them. I will respond. I'm curious what you all think, and I will talk to you later.